to today.
How are you?
I hope you're well, and I also hope you're ready to hear us yammer about Lost. Welcome to the Island Shuffle.
Welcome to the show.
My name is Bean,
My name is James.
and together we watch Lost in the least correct order that we can possibly figure out. This week we went back to season 1, which was where we've been spending a lot of time lately. The good Lost, you know?
Yeah, arguably the best season. Not even arguably.
Yeah, certainly.
I've watched enough Lost.
Yeah,
now
I
to
can
say
say
that.
with pretty much certainty that season 1 is above and beyond the rest
You
of Lost.
know, when nothing was garbage yet. Things were just sometimes good, sometimes mediocre.
Sometimes
and
it's
today, we get a lot of the mediocre.
We get a little bit of the mediocre, but it's fine still.
It's fine. It's still like watchable television,
Yeah,
which is saying something for
yeah,
Lost.
Lost season 1 at its worst is still like, damn, all right. You guys are trying something crazy here.
Yeah, exactly. I could keep watching this.
Yeah, guess I'll tune in next week to see if they do it a little better.
And, oh, man.
Hey.
They do not.
They sure don't. But hey, listen. This week in season 1, episode 22, Tramps Like Us, Baby, They Were Born to Run.
Born to Run. It's a Kate episode.
It's a Kate episode. You know how Kate is a fugitive who's running all the time?
All she does is run. She has something you need to know about Kate.
Mm-hmm.
Murder in her heart. Obviously, it's a given. Born to Run.
Mm-hmm.
So many license plates in her
Yes.
car.
She gotta run.
She's got 100 license plates, and there's only 50 states.
Well, 15 for the states, 10 for the provinces, 3 for the territories, and then the rest are made
It's
up.
vanity.
Vanity. just they're all government plates.
Yeah. Man. So this is just one episode prior to the tremendous 3-part season finale for season 1.
Yes.
And they are setting up a few things.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to start up on the island or go into the past?
Let's go. I feel like we usually have gone past and then island, but I sort of want to do island then past.
I like it. I agree with that. So folks are getting ready to build a raft. They're building a raft, and they're going to get their butts off the island. And finally, the whole season's been building to this. And some man is shouting at everybody, saying, monsoon season's coming. You can't send the raft out now.
Some man. We've never seen him before. We will never see him again.
He's shouting about that, and he says, and everyone's like, well, when should we leave then? And he says, yesterday, and then walks away.
It walks out of the show.
Walks out of the show and into my heart.
Yeah, totally.
Oh
And into my closet.
my God.
And so Q, everyone is very concerned about getting the raft out ASAP.
Yes, and with that comes a new conversation into the fold. As you and I know, the raft crew ends up being Sawyer, Michael, Walt, and Jin.
Uh-huh.
A real motley crew.
One of the first really incredible crews that never should have been.
Exactly. One of Lost's greatest fucking just like, well, let's slam these guys together and see what happens.
We'll put them all,
Yeah.
Yeah, a bunch of people who, what does each of those people really contribute to a raft? Walt is a child. Nothing.
Michael built it, so he gets squatter's rights.
That one makes sense. I do get that one.
Sawyer has quips. And
Sawyer has quips.
Sawyer's got the quips, and I don't know what Jin's bringing.
Jin is a wild card.
Yeah, Jin's just there for moral support.
He doesn't speak the same language as anybody else on the raft.
That's true, he doesn't. I completely forget his entire motivation for going on the raft.
Well, he was helping build the raft, right?
Yes.
But I don't understand why that took place, because the last time that we saw him and Michael in season 1,
yes,
Jin literally tried to murder Michael.
Mm-hmm. And now in this very same episode, Jin protects Michael from being murdered.
Yeah. So something happened there, and I'm interested to find out.
I'm ready to figure it out, but for now we just got to use our imaginations. So suddenly Michael starts thinking, no, here's how it happens first. Kate comes along and says, hey, you guys got room on that raft? Because I want to get on it.
I'm looking to leave, but hey.
I don't know if you've seen the title of this episode, but Tramps Like Me. And so...
Baby.
And Michael says...
We were born to run.
Sorry, buddy. Raft's full. We already got 4.
We got 4.
We have 4, and there's no more room at all. But then... Michael starts thinking, well, what the heck is Sawyer contributing to the raft other than quips?
Sawyer's a no-good idiot. He's mean and he's a criminal, and we don't like him.
We don't like him. He's mean to me personally. He just insults everyone. He won't even help me lift this piece of debris. So they say, hey, listen, Sawyer, what's the deal? What are you doing? What are you really contributing? And Sawyer puts it together. He realizes, oh, Kate's Kate's
looking to get off the island.
Kate's looking to get off the island.
Kate's looking to get off the island.
I'm Sawyer, and this is how I sound.
It's me, Sawyer. What's going on, Freckles?
And I'm looking to get off the island, but so is Kate.
Kate and me getting off the island together.
So they have a little confrontation, and Sawyer's like, I know you're a fugitive, and Kate's like, fuck you. I'm gonna get on the island no matter what. Off the island rather.
I will take your spot, Sawyer.
Hey, I want your spot. I'll get your spot.
That is literally what she says.
That's what she says for real, and it's a hell of a line.
It's a hell of a line. So we cheered.
We cheered out loud.
We cheered whenever that happened.
We applauded.
For a while.
And then we were so busy cheering we missed the rest of the episode. So we're not sure really what happened.
We're gonna take a stab at it.
Yeah,
though.
we're gonna guess. So, Kate bakes a cake for everybody, and it's so big, but it's such a mess, and everybody gets cake all over all their clothes.
So they have to go swimming.
They have to go swimming because there's no laundromat on the island.
There's no laundromat, or there is a laundromat, but no one had it. There's no change machine.
Exactly. There is a laundromat, but nobody has enough loonies or quarters.
Yeah, totally. Well, they don't have loonies over there.
Exactly, right, because they're all American. These are Canadian washing machines.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to say the only canonically Canadian character is the guy that gets like murdered immediately by Ana Lucia in that one episode.
Oh yeah,
every other time someone says I'm from Canada, they turn out to be a liar. So just letting you know, we've been lying about our nation this entire time.
That's true. It's completely. Well,
have you?
Unless we get murdered soon.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, have you ever been to Canada? Really?
Can you ever really be up there?
Can you ever really be?
Has anyone ever been to Alaska? That's all I'm trying to say.
That is a very good point. Anyways, conspiracies aside, the only real conspiracy that I care about is, of course, flat Earth theory and JFK shooting himself. So
the two true ones.
The two real ones. Here's what ends up happening. Michael's building a raft, and he's chatting with Walt, and Walt says, like, well, that guy was saying storm stuff. Is everything okay? And Michael says, oh, yeah, no worries, son. We're going to be out of here in... Oh, my tummy.
So sick now.
Oh, my tummy got so hurt I can't even stand or talk anymore.
So, yeah, mid-sentence, he tries to... It keeps happening at the same point in the sentence, too. It's like, you know that things that happen when people die mid-sentence and they need to say the one thing that they were sort of holding in their whole life?
Happened to Boone just a few weeks ago, I believe.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell Shannon.
So this is how Michael's sickness works in this instance.
Exactly. I mean, just like real life.
Just like real life, how the sick hits him and he is rendered unable to speak for about 5 minutes and only concerning that one sentence.
Exactly. So they lie him down, and Kate goes to grab Jack and gets the doctor, and everyone's like, hey, what the heck is going on? What's happening here? Oh my gosh. And so they kind of are like narrowing it down, and they're like, what'd you have? What'd you do? What'd you drink? And everything seems normal. And Jack starts investigating the water, and he goes, you know what? I don't think it was the water, I think it was something in the water.
Someone put something in there.
And there's
white powder.
There's some gunk in the bottom of a bottle. And
there is a lot of gunk in the bottom of the bottle.
Yeah.
As if Michael wouldn't take a swig and be like, this is full of chalk.
Who left all their chalk in my water?
Why are there so many chemicals in this?
Oh,
this
boy.
doesn't taste anything like clean water.
Who could have known? But here's what ends up happening. Everyone's like, poison. Suddenly it's poison. Oh my gosh. It must have been Sawyer because of, he's
the bad guy.
Sawyer's a bad guy, and he thought he was getting threatened to stay on the
We don't
raft.
like him. He's not nice.
And then Sawyer comes through and is like, actually, no. It's not me. It's Kate. You don't trust me, but you trust Kate? Well, let me lay it all out for you.
Ow.
You think you know Kate, but Kate's... Why don't you tell him, Kate? Why don't you tell him? And
it's true. What he said is true.
And that's Kate Austin's very voice.
I am a fugitive.
Yep.
I was arrested. The marshal was taking me on the plane.
And it is revealed to everyone, once and for all, that Kate is a fugitive.
Kate is a fugitive.
Who
and
knew?
she was born to run.
Just like Bruce Springsteen.
And in that moment, Michael, who had previously given Sawyer's spot to Kate for a hot minute, he gives Sawyer back the spot. He says, I don't want my boy by no criminals.
Yep.
And Sawyer, you are the least criminal on the island now.
Yes. That's how it by snitching, you've proved yourself.
I would love if that was how the criminal justice system worked.
Yeah.
That you are accused of a crime, and what you have to do to defend yourself is go out and find someone who has committed a worse crime than you.
Oh my God! Get out of parking tickets by solving a murder.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly. Hell yeah.
That's the type of world that I want to live in.
Yeah, definitely a bizarre world, but I think, it's not the worst idea I've ever heard for justice.
At least we'll get something done, am I right?
Finally.
With the criminals and clean up the crime in this town. How about you do?
You know what it is? I think it's all the freaking red tape from City Hall.
That City Hall and the taxes.
God, it's all just a big mess, and someone's got to do something about it.
I mean, I think I should do something about it because I know I'm not paying these parking tickets.
I like the idea. Yeah, we just made a city of Batman is all we did.
Yeah, totally.
That's all we've done.
That's all Batman was. He was charged with vandalism.
He was charged with his parents' death.
With his parents' death.
And he was like, no.
The court system said, you should have done something.
And they said, well, listen up. There's this one guy putting riddles all over town. Way worse than me.
This guy's got two faces. Two separate sides of the same face. Look very different to me.
This one guy, he's short and fat.
Like a penguin.
Like a penguin, dude. That's way worse than me, a millionaire who loves to beat up criminals to feel powerful.
Totally. Oh, I love Batman.
I love the Batman. Anyways, this is not the Island Batman. This is the Island Shuffle. And we are talking about my favorite television show, Shuffle. So let's get back to it.
So Sawyer's on that's pretty much the end of
that leads to the whole wrap-up scenario where everyone's kind of chilling out. Everyone's like, we set sail tomorrow. I guess that's that. There's a few other subplots I want to kind of touch upon before we get to that last. Actually, no. Let's talk about the last scene first and foremost. One moment, the first moment of it, is Kate stoking the world's largest fire.
Giant fire.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just her.
It's only her stoking this fire that is as big as her.
Yeah, totally.
just staring in it, stoking it, putting more firewood in it, having a time.
And her fire.
Having a big think.
Kate lights a giant fire every night.
Every night. And then she whispers into it, I'm born to run, baby.
I am born to run. One day I will even run away from you, my sweet, beautiful fire.
She whispers, baby, I'm born in the USA.
I have a fire in my heart, and it's right beside it. It's neighbor murder.
She whispers into the fire, greetings from Ashbury Park, New Jersey.
Really great. The fire loves that.
The fire loves it. The fire loves the boss. The fire, the fire is like, fucking like, when are you gonna say Nebraska? My favorite state.
Great YouTube comment.
When are you gonna say Nebraska? Nobody knows. Anyways, so Sawyer and Kate have a kind of awkward chat across the fire, and Sawyer's like, I got back on the raft, Freckles, and I'm leaving, and you want to know why? Because there's nothing here worth staying for on this damn-ass rock.
Roasted over an open fire.
Yeah, dude. Call Kate a chestnut.
Call Kate a fucking chestnut.
Oh, shit. Let's don't call Kate late for dinner.
Kate for dinner.
Yay. We have fun.
Yeah.
So, that happens. Another scene happens where Walt and Michael are chilling out, and Walt says, hey, remember when the raft burned down? It was me the first time. Sorry about that, Dad, but I didn't want to leave the island. And Michael kind of has like a moment of like, hey, look, I've been tunnel visioned on this raft for so long, but if you want to stay, I get it. We can stay. Just you and me. It's all right, Walt. And Walt turns around and says, no, we have to go now.
Let's go.
We have to
go. Yeah, he's very like, see the future-esque in this moment.
This plays off of an earlier scene where he goes to Locke and him and Locke kind of chat about like, hey, you didn't tell anybody I burnt the raft, did you? Because everyone's all up in arms and my dad's sick and everyone thinks I did it and nobody thinks Walt did it.
Nobody.
But they have a chat and Locke's like, hey man, I'm your friend. I never give it up. And he kind of taps him on the shoulder and Walt goes, don't open it. Don't open that thing, Mr. Locke. And Locke's like, how does he know about the hatch? And it's weird. Walt is psychic, remember?
Walt is psychic
I
all of a sudden.
I think this is the first time I think we've seen like apparitions of Walt, but I don't think we've ever confronted Walt is psychic.
In like his real moment.
Yeah.
Sort of. The interesting thing about Walt's first psychic experience is with the don't open the hatch. Which I don't understand why.
Yeah, I mean, stuff happens, but it's mostly fine.
Yeah, nothing bad comes of it.
No.
It's not like they unleash anything.
Exactly. They meet a new friend named Desmond.
Totally. One of the better characters comes into the show.
And then they find a sick record collection.
Yeah.
And then
play ping pong.
And then it collapses and nothing really comes
blows
of that
up
either.
or something, yeah.
It blows up and it's fine.
Yeah.
Nobody gets hurt, nobody dies.
It's just absolutely fine.
It's fine. Walt's overreacting. Yeah. So
we all do in our first psychic experience.
Yeah, you think it's like this is the most important thing. If it's a premonition, it's got to be absolutely correct.
It's his first time on Psychic Delics.
Yeah, man. Whoa, dude.
Yeah, I know. I went there.
You really took me on a trip with that one.
The Delics.
Then we've had the final scene of the episode is bananas. It is revealed that it was not Kate, it was not Sawyer, it was not Walt, but it was Son, innocent Son, who poisoned Michael. He meant to poison Jin. But mixed up the bottles. And Michael,
easy mistake to make.
Easy mistake. Michael got sick instead. Didn't want Jin to leave.
Didn't want Jin to leave because she's scared that Jin will go and never come back.
Exactly.
Easy thing to think.
Exactly.
It's pretty... I would say it's a very nice raft.
Yeah.
Not really fit for open ocean.
Absolutely, especially if monsoon season's coming.
Monsoon season is coming. This was established very early on.
Exactly. And so he's just looking out. And so Son kind of has a chat with Kate, and Son's like, hey, thanks for helping me set up that poisoning. That was nice of you. And Jack said he won't tell anyone. It's all fine. It's good. And then they have a chat, and the final conversation.
The worst chat in the world.
They're chatting about that for a bit, and then Son says, I thought when I met the love of my life, I'd be happy forever. And then Kate says, you know what? Me too. And then the episode ends. The end of episode.
Garbage end to like, that just left a sour taste in my mouth. It's like, wow, that is the most generic sentence anyone has ever spoken.
Yeah, a classic thing you love to say to your friends who just helped you poison your husband.
I thought I would be happy forever.
I thought I'd be happy forever, but instead, I'm poisoning my husband so he doesn't leave the island.
You were a fool if you thought you would be happy forever.
I mean, yeah, I guess. True.
You literal child.
A few other scenes I want to touch upon from Island Times before we dive into the flashbacks. And the main plot of the thing is like, it's classic season 1 intrigue. Everyone's suspicious of everyone. Totally. I don't know if it goes down as like easy as other stuff because it feels a little forced, but it's still like good.
They have like the Jack and Locke tension.
Yeah, you have Sawyer and everyone tension. You have Kate and everyone tension.
Sawyer and Kate's sexual tension.
Yeah, you have Michael and Walt have some good moments of all characters.
Not sexual tension.
Not sexual tension.
No.
Just dad and son tension.
Dad and son tension.
Mm-hmm.
Dension.
Yeah, tension. Tension.
Dad and sunshin.
Dad and sunshin.
Sun-kissed.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. That's we don't have to keep going because that makes perfect sense.
No, that's sort of self-explanatory.
Everyone knows what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So there's a few other scenes that I want to talk about. Namely, the first scene on the island, which is Kate is playing with a toy plane, and we're all like, "What's the significance of this?" Ooh! And when she's playing with it, suddenly Charlie shows up and shouts, "Platinum!"
Yes! Platinum. And you know what that's in reference to? The fact that his record went platinum.
He just shows up and says platinum, and Kate's like, "What the shit do you mean?" Like the platinum records that the famous music man, made.
Charlie is hilariously insufferable in this episode, but it's really charming, just in a like this person is not real sense.
Exactly. If I was hanging out with Charlie, I'd be like, "Shut up, dude."
Totally. And all Charlie can talk about is how whenever they are discovered, he will be super famous.
Exactly, because his logic is like when he died, sales from his band probably skyrocketed. And imagine how crazy it's going to be when he comes back.
Totally. True, Charles.
And he has a couple scenes of that. He has another scene with Claire where he's like, Claire's trying to cut his hair, and he's playing guitar.
Totally.
And singing a song, and just talking
moving his head so much.
Just shouting platinum.
Just stop for 10 minutes.
Oh my God,
Platinum, boy.
I love to walk into the room and shout,
"Platinum!
Double gold!
Double gold!" Rolled gold.
Rolled gold pretzels are good.
They are not bad. I will go so far as to say.
What is your favorite pretzel? Mine's probably a rolled gold.
Yeah, that's the only brand I know.
That's the only brand I know, so they win by default.
They win, yeah.
Congrats, rolled gold. You won the branding.
You are the one option.
Platinum.
Platinum.
I think he was talking about his favorite Pokemon.
Platinum?
His favorite Pokemon game.
Platinum. I get it now.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me.
He loves Piplup.
Fire.
My favorite. I guess there is a Pokemon Fire Red. Yeah. No, that tracks.
For Game Boy.
We're game for the Game
Boy.
Boy
Color.
Hey, listen. This one's for the gamers, my friends.
Fire.
I like that he said it the way Ness says PK. Fire.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I do equate those two in my mind.
They're the same.
One and the same.
They are one and the same. All games is the same.
That's so Charlie sort of does those two things and nothing of consequence.
Exactly, which is nice. I don't mind having a character just like dick around for a bit.
Totally.
It adds a nice little bit of like
comedic
effect. And it adds to the believability that like, oh, these guys are just stuck on an island.
Yeah,
they just got time to kill. Charlie's got time to go shout platinum at someone.
Imagine how many times he did that and they had to cut it out. They're like, "Charlie, talk about something else, buddy.
Please.
Platinum."
Oh, shit.
What platinum?
There's another good scene where they're investigating and Hurley's kind of giving it to Locke about like who's what where. And like, well, Hurley says I was on bamboo duty. What does that mean? I don't know.
Oh, yeah. That is totally nothing in particular.
That is
because you never really see them use bamboo for anything.
No. I guess, are they building the raft out of bamboo?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, well, then that makes sense.
Okay.
I know what bamboo duty was then.
I guess so.
He had to go get the bamboo.
He had to go get it. Makes perfect sense. So
Bambi.
Yeah, I was on Bambi duty. And Hurley has
Watching the movie.
Hurley has a very good moment where he kind of lays out like, oh, maybe it was Kate or Sawyer because they were kind of both fighting for a spot on the raft. And, because Kate's a fugitive and all that, it probably made it all really weird for Michael and stuff. And Locke's like, wait, Kate's a fugitive? And Hurley spends like a whole minute just making like,
sorry.
I really stepped in it this time,
I didn't know you didn't know.
And it's a nice Hurley moment.
Yeah, that's all we get of Hurley.
There's another plot that revolves around Locke showing Jack the hatch for the first time.
Yeah, totally.
And they kind of are still like, Boone just died, so they're still kind of tension.
They're at odds.
They're at odds, but they're still like, they've cooled down a bit, and Jack's kind of like, you didn't tell me this forever, and Locke's like, well, you hid the fact that Kate was a fugitive, so interesting.
Yeah.
You criticized society, yet you participated in it. Interesting.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Time for you to go find a worse crime to rid you of your own.
Yes, that's exactly right. And so nothing really of note happens other than like some good Jack and Locke button heads, good dialogue, good them just fucking around with each other, and
they're hanging out by the hatch.
They're like bickering
talking about opening it.
They're bickering about it, but they're also like, okay, what's the best course of action here? How do we move forward from here?
Yeah, it's just some plot advancement.
Exactly. And one thing I want to note is that Saeed is there too.
He doesn't like it.
Saeed, like, as soon as Jack is like, all right, well, how do you suppose we open it? Saeed gets the most angry I've ever seen him on this show. And he goes, are you insane?
There could be anything in there.
I brought you here to talk him out of it. And you want to open it? And he's like, makes sense because, like, there's no, like, if it was meant to be open, there would be a hatch, there would be a handle or something. Instead, it's like sealed shut. So what good could possibly come of opening it? Also, Walt is predicting doom as well. So...
so it's all just their mystery mongering.
Yeah, exactly.
On behalf of the show.
Exactly. On behalf of the show, there's a mystery to monger.
Yeah.
This show's a real mystery monger.
They're just mongering the mystery, as we know they do.
Yeah, of course. We know how the hatch goes. We know.
We know what happens.
But you know what? I still like to see Jack and Locke jaw about it.
I like to see Jack and Locke jaw in the early seasons because it's just good.
It's just good.
It's good.
It's I'd venture to say
it's cute.
It's even a little great. There's a lot to talk about in the backstory.
Yeah, so the backstory is really the most interesting aspect of this episode.
It's kind of nuts.
It's crazy.
It's a Kate episode.
It's a Kate episode.
So right away the episode opens with a blonde girl parking a car, opening a trunk, lifting the floor of the trunk to reveal 1 million license plates, and fastening a new one onto the thing, going into the hotel room, washing the dye off her hair. All through this time, her face is obscured. This whole long sequence, her face is obscured. So you're like, must be Claire? It must be Claire because she's blonde. And then we see that her dye washes out, and we're like,
oh,
it was Kate the whole
all
time.
along.
I kind of wish they stuck with her being blonde the whole time.
Yeah, me too.
But hey, she goes to the mail store and says, hey, 1 mail for me, Jane.
And the mail person is like, you have mail.
Yeah, Kate says, like, yeah, 1 for Jane Ford or whatever. She says he's using a pseudonym. And the mail clerk looks through the envelopes and pulls it out and goes, yep, 1 for Jane Ford, all right.
What?
As if, like, yeah, dude, what?
As if people are always coming in being like, do you have any mail for me? And he's like, nope.
As if, people are coming in, 1 for Buttface McButtface. And he looks through it and he goes, wait a minute, that's not a real name.
I got mail here, but none of it's for you. I'm going back to looking at my doohickey now.
This world's most befuddled mail clerk. So
she gets her letter.
Goes
into the car where you read your letters.
Yeah. Opens it up. Cries.
The letter makes her cry.
What's in the letter? We don't know. We never know.
But then we get an indication after.
We get it. We get a hint. A doctor enters a car. Who's in the back of that car but Kate? And they talk like they're old friends. And the buddy's like, oh my gosh, Katie, it's been so long.
What are you doing here?
What are you doing here in the back of my car? You know me, a successful doctor. My name's Tom. And Kate's like, hey, Tom, you know what? My mom has cancer. And Tom's like, you know what I heard? Boy, howdy. Let's catch up.
Why don't you come back to the old house? Mm-hmm. I have a wife and kids. None of them are there.
None of them are there. Here's a pic of me and a kid. And Kate's like, listen, I need to you should do me a favor, and I need to see my mom in the hospital because she's dying. And Tom's like, hey, remember the old times? And this whole time we're like, who's Tom?
Who the hell is Tom?
Tom.
And why he is so Tom looks like a B-movie Michael J. Fox.
Mm-hmm.
And his character is very uninteresting.
Yes, he's just kind of like.
Could you describe his character?
Doctor, has a family.
So that's not a character trait, really.
No, this is a job description.
Yeah.
This is a resume I'm describing, not a character.
Totally.
Doctor with family.
Maybe a bit of a pushover.
Friend of Katie.
Yeah.
So they
low ethical.
Yes.
Like moral compass.
Very low ethical moral compass, because. Like, it's kind of implied that Tom knows what went down a bit. At least, has an idea, has a sense of what went down. Because they kind of are like, I know. Damn, it's crazy, huh? Crazy.
The way things have worked out.
The way things have worked out. Boy, howdy. They decide, before they go to visit Kate's dying mom, they go, hey, you think it's still buried? And they go to the tree, the big tree.
The big old tree with the cows in the mist.
So, the big old tree. Classic Iowa landmark. The big honking tree where there's cows and just ominous mist in the background.
They park the old car and Kate steps 6 paces from nothing in particular. Yeah. And they start digging.
What are they digging for?
Oh, who knows? I guess we'll find out in a second when they hit it. But hey, Kate, while we're digging, you want a beer?
And Kate's like, you brought beer? And Tom says the best thing Tom says all episode, which is, did you write it down too?
I wrote it down too.
No self-respecting man in Iowa goes anywhere without beer.
So
just like have a 2-4 in the trunk at all times.
This is a nightmare. The self-respect of men in Iowa is so heavily attached to alcohol consumption.
This is a doctor too.
Yeah, this is a doctor.
This is not like your stereotypical Iowan. This is a well-off doctor.
And that line is so absurd. It's not like I would enjoy to have a beer.
Yeah. It's just like it's really the writers trying to be like, how's a regular person justify a beer?
Yeah, totally. And he's like, you know what? If I didn't drink this beer right now, I wouldn't have a reason to live. My self-respect is entirely attached to the consumption and just carrying of this beverage.
The mere possession of this beverage justifies me.
Justifies me.
Me, a man from Iowa.
Me, a doctor with a wife and kid.
A doctor with a wife and kids about to help a known fugitive.
Totally. But they get the box.
They get the box, and what it is it's a time capsule that they buried, because you see, they aren't just old friends. They were our old friends. They were kids, baby. They were little kids, and they were lovers, and they had buried a box full of stuff, and there's a little toy plane in it. There's some other bullshit in it, and
there's a tape.
There's like a baseball. There's a tape is the most important thing. They pop the tape in.
The plane.
They pop the tape in, and the tape is them when they're younger, being like, "Hey, it's 1989, and we're kids, and we're in love, and you know what? I bet in 30 years we're gonna be married and have kids of our own, and you know what? And it'll be great." And they're listening to it, and they're like, "Boy, shit, dude.
Yeah. Things didn't work out that way, did they?"
Oh boy. And there's also a line where where Kate says, "No, we're gonna run away together," and Tom says, "Kate, you always want to run away," and it's like, cool normal.
Glad
thing
they
for a
knew
kid
that
to say.
from before.
Yeah.
It's so funny because it's like Kate's character is entirely defined by just who she is after murdering her stepdad.
Yes.
But it's like before she murdered her stepdad, she was like what? 25 or something, still in the same tiny town that she grew up in.
Well, no, she murders her stepdad like way younger than that.
How old is she?
I think she's supposed to be like 19 or 18 when she
Really?
murdered her stepdad.
Wow.
Like, I think that recording is meant to be like from like when they were like fucking baby-ass babies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But then, no, but how long? Because this is in 2003.
Yes.
And that's 1989.
Yes.
And okay, so they
Yeah.
would have been like 10 or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. But then she would have been at least like early 20s or something, killing her stepdad. So that probably happened in like 2002.
I would believe it. Yeah. And in that time, she learned how to be a master criminal and found the murder in her heart.
So weird.
Yeah.
So weird and awful.
Absolutely. So here's the deal. They kiss, and then they go, fucking whoops.
Whoop.
Oh, well, let's go see your mom now.
Alrighty then.
And Kate goes to see her dying mom. And he's like, oh, it's me, your little girl, Catherine. And the dying mom is like, get out of here. You murdered you sent me into the world of hell with the murder that you did. Help. And Kate is so torn up and so sad. And she flees.
But then the hospital cop goes, hey, what are you doing? Hey, stop that. And then she goes, I need to hit you, hospital cop. And she knocks him out with one big punch.
One of the biggest punches you ever did see.
Oh, it knocks him right out. It's so good to watch.
Knocks his butt right on the ground.
Street justice.
And Tom catches up to her and says, hey, what the heck's going on? And Kate's just like, I need your car now.
And he's like, okay.
Sure. And
he just goes with her.
Just goes
He's
with
like,
her.
We're in this together now.
Doesn't even you just be like, here, take my car. But what's going on? Instead, comes along for the ride. Yeah. Tom is like,
he's on duty as a doctor right now.
He has patience.
It's the getaway car. I'm running out of the hospital.
Never mind the patients, a family.
Yeah, totally.
But it's just like, I guess I'm working with a fugitive now.
Yeah.
Decides in the moment. And they are making a getaway through the parking garage. And just at the end of it, police blockade. Guns drawn. And Tom's pleading, Kate, you can get out. We can cooperate. And they'll go easy on you. And we can have a normal life. And Kate's like, no, dude, I'm going to get arrested forever. You got to get out. And Tom's like, no. I'm staying. I'm with you till the end, baby. And it's like, fucking, what the shit
are you, Tom?
What is this character?
Yeah, totally. The doctor who has some undying commitment to Kate, even though they don't see each other or have anything in common.
But he hears one cassette from back in the day, and is just like, I'm a
fugitive too now.
Gotta give it all up for Kate.
So then Kate goes to the blockade.
Yeah, Kate
smashes through the car.
Puts the pedal to the metal, ends up making it past the blockade, but crashing elsewhere. Bullets are flown. Bullets are flown.
Bullets are flown.
Bullets are flown through a bullet hole in the windshield.
Out the gun.
the gun's bullet hole.
The gun shoots.
The gun shoots many a bullet, and guess where those bullets land, man?
Right in the chest of Tom.
Right in the chest of poor Tom.
Tom is dead.
Tom is fucking dead, and Kate can't believe it. And Kate looks in the backseat of the car where all the shit from the time capsule is. The just baseball and the cassette tape and the plane. The most notable plane that she's holding when Charlie shouts platinum at her. Sees all that. Leaves it, actually.
Yeah, they do not show her picking it up.
No, they show her looking at it, seeing the pile of stuff, and not picking it up and just leaving it behind. So I don't know if that was just a weird bad editing call.
I think it was bad editing.
But I also like to imagine, the way I like to interpret it is that she went back for it.
Totally.
Yeah.
She went back to a crime scene.
Mm-hmm. They confiscated that as evidence. And then another adventure that we never get to see is her breaking into
I'm
an
getting the
evidence
plane.
launcher.
It's my memento.
Gotta get that plane from the man I am whose death I am partly responsible for.
Yeah, and so this particular storyline just makes me have no sympathy or respect for Kate in a sense. It's the killing her stepdad thing. Yeah, I get it. He was a shitty dude. But it's it is directly because of her actions that this man dies and the community is without a doctor. His child will grow up without a father.
Yes.
And it's I don't know. That's on Kate.
I wholly agree. This is definitely a classic, and it's jarring to see in season 1 because we do have that classic Kate can't do a taco episode.
Yeah.
but it's very much in that vein of like, why did they have to escalate this so much?
Totally. It's just like
the idea of Kate being a fugitive is like compelling enough. You don't have to like keep raising the stakes.
She
and
just leaves this like string of destruction behind her, and there's like a body count and stuff. It's like, this is not a normal human being.
Speaking of body counts, remember when I had the Lost Encyclopedia?
Yeah.
I was glancing at it the other day. Most of the major characters have their own like profiles and stat lines, just like, date of birth, number on the candidate sheet or whatever, time spent on the island. Some of them have number of people killed at their hands.
I love that.
They have an official kill count.
That's awesome. As they should.
Which is, it's just like the wildest.
Who has the most? I guess Ben. Linus.
Ben, they didn't even count him.
Yeah, because it's such a large number.
It's so huge. But like Jin, I think, has like 2.
Who does he kill?
I could not tell you off the top of my head who Jin kills.
Probably just like henchmen or something.
I want to say henchmen, maybe like some random others that he shoots.
Wow.
Oh, he totally, remember in the finale of season 3 when they're blowing up the tents?
Yeah.
I bet Jin probably killed some.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's funny.
That's cool. They have a kill count.
It's just funny to think about, like, The Lost, the show where the characters kill.
Where a lot of murder takes place.
Yeah, murder.
So they all have murder in their heart.
The whole.
That's why the plane crashed.
Exactly. It was too heavy with murder.
Yeah, it is with a heavy heart that I murder another human being.
Yeah, exactly. And barely by the end of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a classic. The whole Kate thing is just like they can't keep escalating it because it just keeps getting more and more absurd.
Oh yeah,
every single Kate episode
detracts from the character so much.
Exactly.
It takes away believability, likability.
Exactly.
And there's not much like in this episode. I think there's a lot less justification behind her actions than there are for most characters in most episodes.
Exactly, because a lot of it like stems from this idea that like. And Kate is kind of the one they lean heavily into, but the idea that like, your past, you should kind of like not necessarily be forgiven, but like, can you find redemption somehow, some way for whatever past transgressions you've done? Can you find that redemption? And with some of it, I feel like with Sawyer, they mostly do a good job of being like, okay, here's, he was a criminal, he killed the wrong guy, and he's, got some issues.
But he finds redemption.
Kate's list of crimes is so huge.
It's so long.
It's such a snowball of deception and bodies.
Absolutely.
That is so far gone.
And like, yeah, so many broken families on her behalf and stuff like that. It's just absurd.
Exactly. I don't think she's the like evilest character on the show by any stretch, but she's definitely the one that they most. Because like Ben, obviously, but they make a point of like, oh no, Ben sucks ass.
Ben is a bad person, but she's supposed to be likable.
Yeah, exactly.
And she is just objectively a bad person.
Exactly. And like, for instance, when she's like confessing to it, when she's like to the whole island, she's like, yeah, you're right. I am a fugitive. I'm copping to it. But I didn't poison Michael. She says something along the lines of like, regardless of whatever I allegedly did or didn't do. And it's just like, just cop to it, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
also, she's not really being accused of any crimes or anything.
Exactly.
Everyone is just like, she is a fugitive.
Exactly. It just kind of comes out
She
naturally.
is running from the law.
Exactly.
But, yeah, good for Kate.
Yeah, good for Kate. It's not the worst Kate episode we've watched, that's for sure.
Taco Tuesday will live on forever as just a legend of an episode.
Just a hell of an episode.
What do you say I go to random.org?
I like it. And what do you say I pull up our list of episodes?
List of episodes that we have both watched and not watched.
Exactly. So we can see what it is.
Well, I'm going to type in 1 to 121 here. Click generate. I got 22. That's the one we just watched.
We just watched that one, so you're going to have to re-roll, I'm afraid.
All right. I read it. We got 52.
52.
30 more.
30 more.
So that's season 3, mid-season 3?
I would reckon early season 3. I would reckon very early season 3. My phone is being very bad right now, unfortunately.
The old phone trick.
Old phone trick. I'm giving you guys the old phone trick. Everybody loves the
old phone run
phone
around.
Trick. when your phone is kind of like 5 years old and just decides, yeah, you want to load a list of Lost. I'm just gonna give you a black screen for like 10 whole minutes.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
that'll be good.
I can relate.
52, eh?
Yeah.
Ooh, 52. Yep, early season 3. Season 3, episode 3. The episode is called Further Instructions, and it's a lock episode.
Oh, that sounds really great, actually.
Yeah,
that sounds great.
Yeah.
So I think we have something to look forward to next week, faithful viewers.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoyed next week's episode, and I hope you enjoy every episode ever of this show because they're all probably perfect.
Well,
What do you say?
What do you say?
What do you say?
Oh, I say what you say, and you know what we always say.
We always say, follow us on Facebook and also on Twitter. The Island Shuffle is there, full of good content for you.
I've been Bean.
I've been